cancer cells do feed on it, but you're saying glutamine is worse.
Yeah, because the Warburg effect is the fact that normal cells use both anaerobic and aerobic system, the Krebs cycle. Cancer cells only use the anaerobic system. It was thought. Glutamine can work the aerobic system and produce a lot more energy. So if you eat a lot of sugar and you eat a lot of glutamine, you're really stimulating your cancer powerfully. And so the idea is you want to cut down on your glutamine intake. Well, a lot of people are promoting glutamine as a way to heal the gut, leaky gut syndrome. And so they're saying take 5, 6, 10 grams of glutamine. That is a powerful stimulant for degenerative brain disorders, a powerful stimulant for cancer growth. So you don't want to do that. There's a lot better ways to repair the GI tract that work better and safer and actually inhibit cancer.
But not glutamine.
But not glutamine. The other thing is foods, for instance, beans like black beans are high in glutamine. Mushrooms are high in glutamine. So these foods that are high in glutamine, you don't want to eat either. You want to try to eat only low glutamine foods, and a lot of those are your vegetables. And some cancer researchers think, well, this may be why people who are on vegetarian diets and juicing seem to have these spontaneous cures of their cancer, is because they have such a low glutamine intake and a low sugar intake.
Wow.
Both.
So getting rid of the two fuels.
You're getting rid of two fuels. Now, cancer cannot use fat for its fuel. So coconut oil is a good way to keep your energy up without having to resort to sugar, and cancer can't use it.
MSG is one form of glutamate. What are some other sources of glutamate to avoid?
Well, the industry, really got hammered when my book Excitotoxin came out, and everybody was looking at glutamate. And so they started taking MSG off the label, and they even put on the label, contains no MSG. And then they put sources of glutamate in it, like hydrolyzed protein, soy protein isolate, soy protein concentrate, autolyzed yeast, caseinate is a very common. All of those are extremely high in glutamate. But the law allows them to put those in the foods and still put on the label contains no MSG.
Because they're not monosodium glutamate.
They're not monosodium glutamate,
okay.
But they're just as dangerous and harmful as monosodium glutamate.
So you want to watch out for all the forms of glutamate?
All the forms of glutamate, and particularly soy. Soy is naturally high in glutamate and glutamine, as well as aluminum and fluoride and manganese.
Wow.
It's got a lot of toxins in it. Soy is a very bad food, and particularly a liquid food. If you get it in milk and soy liquid products, it's very high glutamate levels. Your blood level will rise as much as 20-fold to 50-fold.
And that's even if it's organic soy, right?
Doesn't make any difference. It's natural to the plant, And in my estimation, people shouldn't be consuming soy products.
Dr. Blaylock mentioned that glutamate is not only a fuel, but it's also a fertilizer for cancer cells. Now, when you hear fuel for cancer, most people that have been paying attention thus far in the series are going to say sugar. And sugar is something that we must address. Sugar is one of the primary fuels for cancer. In this next clip, we listen to a scientist describe what we need to really look out for when it comes to sugar. Are all sugars bad? Or are there certain things that we need to look for as far as sugar is concerned? Potentially the spikes of sugar, the glycemic index. What is it that we need to look out for in order to avoid sugar fueling cancer cells?
The question then becomes, from practical perspective, what is a cancer patient to do? Should they not eat sugar? Should they eat sugar? The good thing there is that the source of sugar matters. How you're eating your sugar makes a difference. Today, if you look at the patterns of sugar eating back in the 1960s, most of our sugar came from sugar cane. And that sugar cane, if you look at what it's made of, it is mostly sucrose. So it is 50% glucose, 50% fructose. Over time, what has happened is that high fructose corn syrup has kind of caught up with it. There are a lot of indications to show that high fructose corn syrup has got several negative health effects. Inside cancer, there's a processing center for glucose. And inside any cell, there's always a processing center for glucose. There are what we call the hexokinase receptors, HK2, so to speak, in cancer cells, and in normal cells as well. The only difference is that there are way more HK2s in cancer cells than there are in regular cells. And The problem that happens is that now you've got a hungry dog out here, and you've got a dog that is not so hungry that will get satiated easily, and you have a sudden spike of sugar. Guess what? The hungry dog is going to overfeed on that sugar. So what we really are looking to do is to stop the spikes of sugar. That's why we're looking to give people diets that have got a low glycemic index. A lot of people think